guys, you just got to love Tuchel's honesty. But the pundits, they bottled it again, didn't they? It's as simple as this. I mean, we can't knock England 2-0. You know, they've only trained for 3-4 days, whatever. And so, you know, it's going to take them time under a new manager. And frankly speaking, there were a lot of good points there. I think Curtis Jones and Rice played well in the midfield. Skelly was brought on. He did very well. You know, it was a good performance. And you just got to accept that. It was a decent performance. But when they start turning around, at least Tuchel comes out and basically says the two wingers, you know, didn't play well enough. And he was right. Foden's out of position, yeah. But frankly speaking, he didn't have it. He was very poor. Nothing, you know, he didn't do anything at all. And as far as Rashford was concerned, you know, he didn't do anything either. You know, he didn't beat the players once down the wing, didn't dribble once round. He had a long ball come through where he was one on with the goalkeeper, and as it came, he wasn't good enough to control it. Lost the ball a couple of times. Rashford had a poor game as well. Honestly, from Tuchel, it was honestly great. The only thing I will say is I still feel sometimes there's not enough imagination in the midfield. Whoever's fault that is, I'm not going to say, you know, but the two wingers need to change. I still feel, honestly, my own personal opinion, Reece James will be a better fullback than Walker. That's my opinion. And the other thing I will say, I love the way Burns played. Burn, whatever his name is, Burn. I loved the way he played. But as soon as Brozier came on, he had problems. He was done for speed 3 times. Forget done in the air. You know, that happens. He's a big chap. But it was the speed that Burns were done on that worried me. And up against the better opposition, I think he'll have problems. And this is where the pundits bottled it. Instead of saying something like that, what they turned round and said was, I think Gui and Konza wouldn't let you down. In other words, that's who they think should be playing. And if you look at what my post analysis said, I actually said I think Gui Konza should be the two that they play in the back. Not going against Burn at all. I think he's a great player. But he's 32. You know, it's going to be 33, 34 for the next World Cup. I think he lacks a bit of speed. I love him. I'd have him there as a reserve rather than blasted Maguire. But he didn't, you know, speed-wise. And the pundits bottled it. You know, the way they say it. Why not just say he's not good enough to be the